Finding Bodhi. Well, it was a tough year in those ways, predictable and unpredictable. Nitya lost her younger sister Anne, and I lost my doggie Lupita for 15 years. Nitya worked hard on getting through her grieving, and I tried to figure a way through mine. I spent the year unemployed, but applying for teaching jobs, online applications that took hours to complete late into the night. When Lupita died, Nitya said that was it. No more animals. After all the energy of caring for a geriatric dog, and still with a feral 20-year-old cat on the back porch that screamed so loud the neighbors often worried we were strangling babies at it. And, of course, our huge cat, Mr. Raja, that didn't make the Gators football team because he was much fatter than he was fast. And I nicknamed him Mr. Demando because basically he's a food in, poop out unit. But no more animals? What did that mean, I wondered. I always lived with a dog. Nitya had 5 kids. My dog was my kid. Saying no more animals was like saying no more kids. I felt childless. Immediately after Lupita died this past January, I started looking at pictures of homeless dogs online. You know, between sobs of grief and job applications. The smaller dogs attracted me. Lupita was impossible to carry around those times I really needed to carry her. A nicer, perhaps, friendlier dog, perhaps one that wouldn't bite people, or that didn't shed so much, or that I could take everywhere with me. I showed Nitya a picture of an adorable dog while one of her sons was with her in the kitchen one day, hoping for some empathy. After which it was suggested to me to reconsider my approach next time. There was an ad on Craigslist. One small pup, a Chihuahua pug mix. So I responded to have a picture emailed to me. His eye winked, I swear to God. They called him Lil Bit. He had been a present for her elderly mom that was presently in the hospital, so couldn't take care of him. The lady said he just always wanted to be picked up all the time. She wanted to meet me in the Home Depot parking lot. I just wanted to see if he liked me. Nitya was at work. I texted her that I was just going to go look at a puppy.
Right.
She texted back, if you bring home a dog, there's going to be a problem. On my drive home with the puppy, I was suddenly overwhelmed with the feeling like I was in so much trouble. My life flashed before me. I remembered when I was 15, I'd gotten caught smoking pot with my best friend. That trouble ended up with me being sent to my mean aunt's house while my whole family relocated to another city. I never saw my friend again. I flashed on the time when I met my first girlfriend and we immediately took my dad's little red Honda to go to my first Michigan Women's Music Festival. And my dad reported the car stolen. And I thought about the time I was transporting 100 pounds of marijuana from Tucson to New Jersey with my little brother. We got pulled over at a surprise roadblock. The Border Patrol agent reached into my window and over my shoulder and pressed down on the big suitcase just behind my seat. He then ordered us to open the trunk. Then I flashed on the desperation and dread I felt when my girlfriend of 6 years, Suyu, suddenly moved back to Canada. She left me in the dead of a Michigan winter with 3 feet of snow on my truck, on the roofs of the houses, on the driveway. I was fucked. That's when I started having vodka for breakfast. And now, little bits trembled at my chest, all 2 pounds of him with his head nuzzled into my neck. I zipped up my hoodie around him and started to relax. But I never felt so in trouble in my life. Should I just turn around and bring him back? Hell no, she's long gone. Should I bring him to somebody else's house? Hide him? I wanted to run away to keep driving my refusal into a stagnant and setting sun. I rocked in my driver's seat, gripping the steering wheel. A tear let go of my eye. Then I decided to stop at my friend's house to validate what a little gem I had found. Conspire with her any options that we might come up with. The pup seemed helplessly tiny, and I was his rescuer, his new guardian. I tried hard to understand why Nitya had said no more animals, and thought he was too small to impact our freedom plans. He was small enough to just take with us traveling, how he'd be well-mannered and trained to all the commands I was going to teach him. I was confirming my desire to have a dog for the rest of my life, that as far as I saw it, the rest of my life would be enhanced more than it could ever be inconvenienced by having another animal to care for. On the other hand, I too was enjoying Nitya's new freedom with all her kids gone out of the house now. But her kids were still very much part of her life. And my kids? Well, my kids have always been furry creatures incapable of getting out on their own. Arriving back home finally with little bits, I was excited watching him check everything out for the first time, returning wide-eyed to me, romping, hesitant. Then Nitya came home, and she was very not happy. Oh, I did not like the shift I felt between her and I panicked. Oh shit, did I panic? I said I would find him a good home. Because, no, I couldn't take him back, thinking I could write the perfect ad on Craigslist, perhaps, to find the perfect parents for this little tidbit of love. She agreed I should find him a home. Then I noticed his vet papers that he came with looked altered. Someone had whited out female and checked male, and then Xeroxed it. So I contacted the woman I got him from, and she said that's the paper she was given from the person she got him from. In Florida, you can't sell an animal without the paper that says the vet checked him out and got all his shots, right? Taking him to that vet stamped on that paper, the vet compared the paper to the copy she had on file to match, and it indeed was a litter female Chihuahua was born on that day, and someone had definitely added /pug to the Chihuahua breed. She knew the woman, Mary, who had brought these pups in, so we contacted her. Mary said she sold the pup to Tanya, who was the woman I got the pup from. Everyone was getting upset, but every time I contacted Tanya, she continued to deny any wrongdoing, and she wanted the puppy back. Oh, hell no. The vet suggested that we run the pup through all his shots, and he was definitely not born on the date as indicated on the paper, and certainly not a female, and probably not a pug mix, though perhaps some kind of Chihuahua. We were to return in 2 weeks for his booster shot, so in the meantime, I was trying to write that perfect Craigslist ad, and renamed him Monkey Roo. Well, last page, bear with me. Well, a couple weeks passed and I had to go to Tampa for the weekend, but my sister-in-law said I couldn't bring the monkey pup with me because they had 2 dogs that would eat him. My friend Amy came to mind. She had a Chihuahua. I bet she would love Monkey. Maybe she could watch him for the weekend. Well, she couldn't wait to see him and was thrilled to have him. After my weekend in Tampa, I'm driving back home to Gainesville, and I text Amy that I'm coming to pick up the pup. She texts, I am sobbing. I text back, huh? Amy texts, it's hard to let him go. It suddenly occurs to me the perfect solution has arrived. Amy and I could co-parent the pup. I knew Nitya would love the idea, and Amy would love the idea, though my heart dropped a couple inches to think I'd have to share him that much. The idea went over quite well, though Nitya proclaimed that she would never ever take care of him, and was still disappointed that I had gone and got a dog like that, but that he sure was cute. I I loved when she would take his picture and post it on her Facebook with comments like, "I'm like his dad. I can't wait till he's potty trained and can talk." Now, since Nick's daughter was in a souring relationship with a guy named Monkey, she said she probably changed the puppy's name. We went through lists of names, but Nick came up with Bodhi, and it stuck. Bodhisattva, my enlightened being. But the co-parenting thing was differently disengaged when Amy told me she couldn't take on another dog. After all, she already had 4 dogs. She offered to take Bodhi anytime I left town. Turns out I leave town a lot. Like every month. And for the whole month of August, Amy had Bodhi. So between Amy, Nick, and myself, pictures of Bodhi get posted on Facebook all the time. He's surrounded by love, has a huge family, and barks at people if they don't say hello to him. He's 11 pounds down. I've come to realize that I can't really take him everywhere I go, and that there's bad people flipping puppies on Craigslist.